In our journey through life, the strength of our mental fortitude is constantly tested by the ebbs and flows of experiences, emotions, and interactions. Yet, what if the very habits we believe to be signs of strength are in fact the chains that bind us to mental weakness? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, offers a mirror to reflect on our practices and beliefs, challenging us to reconsider what truly constitutes mental resilience. All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me, Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor and philosopher, once declared. But how do we distinguish between the obstacles that fortify our spirits and the habits that erode our mental resilience? This exploration into the 10 habits that make you mentally weak is not an indictment, but an invitation to introspect, to question, and ultimately to transform. Are the walls we build around our emotions serving as fortresses of protection or prisons of suppression? Does our quest for self-control and rationality nourish our roots, or does it separate us from the very emotions that make us human? And in our stoic acceptance of life's flux, might we be mistaking passivity for peace, cynicism for wisdom? Stoicism teaches us that true strength is not the absence of vulnerability, but the mastery of our reactions to the world around us. It invites us to embrace challenges as opportunities, to distinguish between what lies within our control and what does not, and to cultivate compassion towards ourselves and others. Join us as we delve into these habits, guided by Stoic wisdom, on a quest not for perfection, but for a more resilient, aware, and compassionate self. Number 1. Suppressing emotions. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, the idea of suppressing emotions is often misunderstood. Stoicism doesn't advocate for the denial of feelings, but rather for their understanding and management. Consider a real-life scenario where an individual faces a significant professional setback. Instead of acknowledging their disappointment and frustration, they choose to suppress these emotions, believing this to be the Stoic way. Over time, this suppression doesn't fortify their resilience, but erodes it, leading to a build-up of unresolved stress and emotional turmoil. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, eloquently stated, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable." This insight prompts us to question, are we not compounding our misery by refusing to engage with our present emotions? Are we anxious about the potential weakness they might reveal? It's crucial to understand that Stoicism teaches us to experience our emotions without being overpowered by them. This philosophy encourages us to ask ourselves, what can we learn from our feelings? How can they guide our actions in a more virtuous direction? As Marcus Aurelius, another pillar of Stoicism, advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful message urges us to embrace our emotions as part of our human experience, guiding us toward personal growth and resilience. Let us therefore not fall into the trap of emotional suppression. Embrace your feelings, understand them, and let them be the fuel that propels you toward a peaceful, happy, and successful life. Stoicism isn't about building emotional walls, it's about fortifying the soul with wisdom, virtue, and genuine emotional insight. Number 2, overemphasizing self-control. In the Stoic pursuit of virtue, self-control stands as a fundamental pillar, shaping our responses to external circumstances and internal turmoil. Yet when the scale tips towards overemphasis, we risk tumbling into a chasm of self-blame and frustration. The essence of Stoicism isn't to don an armor of infallibility, but to navigate life's unpredictable waters with grace and resilience, acknowledging our inherent human fallibility. Consider the entrepreneur who, despite rigorous planning and relentless effort, faces unexpected business challenges. If they adhere rigidly to the belief that sheer self-control could have averted these external challenges, they fall prey to self-blame. Instead, a balanced Stoic approach would encourage them to discern between what's within their control, their response and attitude, and the uncontrollable external factors. How often do we chastise ourselves for not adhering strictly to our diet or exercise regimen, attributing slip UPS to a lack of self-discipline? Here lies the misconception. Stoicism doesn't advocate for a relentless grind, but for a harmonious balance. Recognizing that setbacks are part of our human experience, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca's quote inspires us to reset each new day without burdening ourselves with yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's worries. Embrace the Stoic wisdom of focusing on the present, where our power truly lies. Remember, the path to a peaceful, happy and successful life is paved with acceptance, learning and adaptation, not with relentless self-critique. So let's apply this Stoic insight to our lives, not as a rigid framework, but as a guiding light towards self-understanding, compassion and genuine growth. 3. Neglecting relationships. How often do you pause to appreciate the connections you have with others, recognizing them as integral components of your journey towards a serene and fulfilling life? Stoicism, often perceived as a philosophy that champions strict independence, can sometimes be misinterpreted as an endorsement of solitude. However, a deeper dive into its teachings reveals a nuanced appreciation for the interconnectedness of human experiences. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, eloquently stated one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and be understood. This underscores a crucial Stoic acknowledgement of the vital role relationships play in our lives. While Stoicism teaches us to find contentment within and to depend on ourselves for inner peace, it does not advocate for a life of isolation. Instead, it encourages us to forge meaningful connections, offering support and gaining insights from others. Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, another pillar of Stoicism, who, despite being an emperor, valued his friendships and connections, seeing them as essential to his personal growth and understanding of the world. His meditations often reflect on the importance of communal values and the shared human experience. Yet how do we balance this with the Stoic pursuit of self-sufficiency? It begins with recognizing that our relationships should not be sources of dependency, but rather frameworks within which we can practice virtue, offer support, and find strength in times of adversity. Let this serve as a call to action. Engage deeply with those around you, not as a means to fill a void within yourself, but as a way to practice mutual growth, understanding and resilience. In doing so, you not only enrich your life, but also contribute to the well-being of your community, paving the way for a life that is not just successful, but also profoundly meaningful and interconnected. How will you take a step today to strengthen a bond, to listen empathetically, or to offer support, thus weaving the timeless wisdom of Stoicism into the fabric of your daily life? Your insights could be a guiding light for someone. Please share in the comments. Number 4. Passivity in the face of injustice. Understanding. Stoicism often leads to a misconception that one must accept all external events without reaction, mistakenly promoting passivity even in the face of injustice. However, Stoicism at its core encourages discernment, knowing when it's wise to act and when to withhold action. Marcus Aurelius, a model Stoic and a Roman emperor, proclaimed, "Justice is the source of all the other virtues." This suggests that Stoicism doesn't endorse passivity in the face of wrongdoing, but rather compels us to act justly and courageously when we have the power to make a difference. Consider the example of Rosa Parks in 1955. Her refusal to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus didn't come from a place of defiance, but from a profound sense of justice and dignity. Parks's action, grounded in her quiet strength and moral conviction, sparked a pivotal movement in the civil rights era. This act of courage underlines the Stoic belief in acting according to virtue when the situation demands it, even in the face of potential personal detriment. So how do we apply this in our daily lives? When witnessing an injustice, big or small, do we passively accept it as unchangeable, or do we assess our capacity to effect change? Stoicism teaches us not just to endure life stoically, but to engage with it actively, making decisions rooted in virtue and the common good. Let this be a call to action, to not misconstrue Stoicism as a rationale for passivity, but to embrace it as a guide for active virtue in the face of injustice. Let us ask ourselves, what is within my power to change, and how can I act justly in this moment? By doing so, we not only live true to Stoic principles, but also contribute to a more just, peaceful and thriving world. Number 5, over-reliance on rationality. In the Stoic pursuit of virtue, rationality stands as a pillar, guiding decisions and actions with wisdom and forethought. However, when this reliance on rational thought overshadows the intrinsic value of emotions, one risks a life devoid of empathy and genuine human connection. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of balancing reason with emotion, stating all cruelty springs from weakness. This highlights that a lack of empathy, often seen as a rational superiority, is actually a form of emotional deficiency. Consider the case of a highly analytical executive who prides herself on making decisions purely based on data and logic. While her approach leads to efficient business outcomes, it inadvertently creates a rift between her and her team. The emotional disconnect stifles creativity, collaboration, and workplace satisfaction, illustrating the limitations of an over-reliance on rationality. It is only when she begins to value her team's emotional insights and perspectives that a more cohesive, innovative and motivated group emerges. Stoicism doesn't advocate for the suppression of emotions, but rather for their understanding and integration into a balanced life. It encourages us to recognize emotions as natural responses that can provide valuable insights into our values and humanity. By welcoming emotions as companions to rational thought, we open ourselves to deeper relationships, enriched experiences, and a more compassionate understanding of the world around us. The message is clear. Embracing our emotional life alongside our rational mind enriches our existence. It allows us to live more fully, to connect more deeply with others, and to navigate the world with a harmonious blend of wisdom and compassion. How might your life transform if you allowed your heart to speak as loudly as your mind? Cultivating a life of emotional richness and rational clarity, we are halfway to becoming superior to others. Your presence here shows that you are completely ready for the process of self-improvement. However, our journey does not stop here. I have another challenge for you. Please like and share this video. Comment I want to continue. Let's continue our journey today. Number 6. Misunderstanding the concept of control. How often do we find ourselves fixated on controlling every aspect of our lives, only to confront the inevitable reality that many factors lie beyond our reach? This misunderstanding of the Stoic concept of control can inadvertently narrow our perspective, making us overlook the broader tapestry of life's interconnectedness. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, eloquently stated some things are in our control and others are not. This profound insight invites us to discern between our own actions, thoughts and responses, the realms within our control, and the vast universe of external events and outcomes that we cannot dictate. Consider the entrepreneur who dedicates every waking moment to her business, meticulously planning each detail, yet faces unforeseen market shifts that challenge her enterprise. Oregon. The athlete who trains with relentless discipline only to encounter an unexpected injury. These scenarios, the critical lesson. While our efforts and attitudes are crucial, acknowledging the role of external factors is equally important for mental and emotional balance. By embracing this broader understanding of control, we open ourselves to greater flexibility, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of life. It encourages us to adapt, learn from circumstances beyond our control, and find growth in the unexpected. Let this be a call to action, to recognize the limits of our control and the beauty of life's unpredictability. By doing so, we can navigate our journey with a more grounded, peaceful, and enriched perspective. How might your life transform if you embraced not only the power of your own actions, but also the lessons and opportunities presented by the world beyond your control? This Stoic wisdom paves the way for a life of peace, happiness, and success, lived in harmony with the ever-changing dance of existence. 7. Ignoring the present moment in the whirlwind of life. It's all too easy to get caught up in the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future, losing sight of the power and potential of the present moment. Stoicism. A philosophy deeply rooted in the wisdom of living according to nature, urges us to focus on the here and now while not forsaking the valuable lessons of the past and the prudent planning for the future. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, once said, "Concentrate on the present moment," highlighting the essence of Stoic mindfulness. Yet he also understood the importance of learning from the past and preparing for the future, striking a delicate balance between presence and foresight. Consider the entrepreneur who, while driven by future goals, remains fully engaged in the day-to-day operations of their business, addressing challenges as they arise with equanimity and grace. Or the artist who, inspired by past experiences, creates with an intense focus on their current work, fully immersed in the creative process. These examples embody the Stoic principle of living in the present with an eye toward growth and improvement. The message here is not to shun planning or reflection, but to integrate them into a life lived fully in the present. By embracing the Stoic practice of mindfulness, we can navigate life with a clearer vision, responding to its ebbs and flows with wisdom and resilience. This approach encourages not only personal growth and preparedness, but also a deeper appreciation for the richness of life as it unfolds. How might your life transform if you more consciously balanced living in the moment with thoughtful reflection and planning for the future? Please share your unique perspective in the comments. 8. Excessive self-denial. Stoicism, often associated with austerity and resilience, indeed teaches the value of self-discipline and moderation. Yet it is a common misconception that to live a Stoic life, one must embrace excessive self-denial, assuring the pleasures and beauty that life offers. Seneca, a revered Stoic philosopher, once remarked, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This insight highlights the balance between appreciating what we have and the endless pursuit of more, suggesting the true contentment comes from within. Consider the example of someone who, in their pursuit of a minimalist lifestyle, forsakes all forms of leisure and pleasure, believing this to be the path to virtue and happiness. Over time, however, they find themselves feeling disconnected from the joys of life, from the warmth of social gatherings to the simple pleasure of a sunset. This story serves as a cautionary tale that excessive self-denial can cloud our ability to appreciate the world around us, leading to a life less lived. Stoicism doesn't advocate for a joyless existence, but encourages us to find happiness in the simple, the everyday, and the natural. It teaches us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them, maintaining a delicate balance that fosters both resilience and joy. Everything in moderation, including moderation, might be a modern twist on this ancient wisdom, reminding us that even in discipline there should be room for flexibility and grace as we navigate the complexities of life. Let us remember the Stoic call to appreciate the present moment, to find joy in the simple things, and to live fully without succumbing to the extremes of excess or denial. How might your life be different if you embrace this balanced approach, celebrating life's pleasures while maintaining the inner fortitude that Stoicism teaches? Let this be a call to action, to live not just with discipline, but with a heart open to the beauty and richness of life. 9. Cynicism towards change. In the tapestry of life, change is not just inevitable, it's the very thread that weaves our growth, challenges and opportunities. Yet how often do we find ourselves resisting change, cloaked in cynicism, perhaps as a shield against the uncertainty it brings? Stoicism, often misconstrued as a philosophy of emotional detachment and passivity, offers in truth a robust framework for engaging with change. Constructively, Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic luminary, once said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This profound insight invites us to view change not as a force to be resisted, but as an opportunity to adapt, grow, and reaffirm our values. Consider the story of Malala Yousafzai, who faced life-threatening change after standing up for girls' education. Instead of succumbing to fear or bitterness, she embraced change as a catalyst for her global advocacy, transforming her personal ordeal into a campaign for millions of girls around the world. Her journey exemplifies the Stoic belief in the power of individuals to effect positive change, even in the face of adversity. So why do we often approach change with cynicism? Is it fear of the unknown, or perhaps a mistrust in our ability to adapt? Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the world around us, we can control our perceptions and actions. By embracing change with an open heart and a clear mind, we unlock the potential for personal development and societal progress. As we navigate the currents of change, let us remember that our response to change defines our character and our impact on the world. Let this Stoic lesson inspire us to meet change with courage, resilience, and a hopeful heart, actively contributing to a more peaceful, happy and successful life for ourselves and others. 10. Lack of compassion for self. How often do we extend kindness and understanding to others, but withhold the same from ourselves? This paradox highlights a critical misunderstanding in applying Stoic principles where the virtue of self-discipline is misconstrued as an excuse for self-criticism. Marcus Aurelius, a proponent of Stoicism, once advised be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. However, this strictness should not come at the expense of compassion towards oneself. It's about striking a balance between self-accountability and self-kindness, recognizing that we too are humans and deserving of understanding and patience. Self-compassion involves recognizing our shared humanity, that mistakes and setbacks are a universal part of the human experience. It means treating oneself with kindness during times of failure, not as a means of self-indulgence, but as a path to personal growth and resilience. Seneca's words resonate here: pardon one another's faults and heal your own. As we navigate the complexities of life, let's embrace the Stoic lesson of self-compassion. By applying to ourselves the understanding and kindness we freely offer to others, we not only foster personal well-being, but also empower ourselves to lead more fulfilled and harmonious lives. This practice of self-compassion is not a departure from Stoic wisdom, but a profound application of it, encouraging us to live peacefully, happily, and successfully. Let us remember that the journey to improving the world begins with how we treat ourselves. In our journey to understand 10 habits that weaken your spirit, we have embraced the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, guiding us towards a life of peace, purposeful and resilient. In navigating the path to mental fortitude, it is crucial to recognize habits that may inadvertently weaken our resolve. From suppressing emotions to neglecting the warmth of human connection, these practices can distance us from the Stoic ideal of a balanced, resilient spirit. As Marcus Aurelius wisely counseled, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This guidance invites us to eschew passivity, embrace rationality without losing our empathy, and cultivate self-compassion alongside our pursuit of virtue. By avoiding these 10 pitfalls, we open ourselves to a life marked by emotional strength, deep connections, and a serene acceptance of life's ebbs and flows. Let us commit to applying these insights, forging a path that leads to not just a peaceful and happy existence, but a profoundly humane one, embodying the true essence of Stoicism in every step. If you feel inspired by today's meaningful journey with the Stoic philosophy, please like the video and leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos we share in the future. Goodbye and see you again.